Alright, fine, let's watch this.
Brought to you by Gaijin. More about them in the middle of the video. God save a creation. Oh, hello there. Welcome to England. You're probably here because you want to learn about the place.
Sure.
Well, you're in bloody luck. By the end of this, you will basically be an Englishman. Ladies and gentlemen, get your tea and crumpets at the ready as we take a look at... Righty, so before we get into the meat and two veg, there's some English basics that you need to know. The fundamentals, if you will. So firstly, England is in the continent of Europe. Not to be confused with the European Union or the EU. We are not in that anymore. England is a part of the United Kingdom, an island nation made up of England and the other ones. And for any of you that are unaware, just to clear up any confusion, this is the UK flag, the Union Jack, and this is the England flag, the St. George's flag. And for any of you sharp-eyed viewers, you'll notice that the St. George's flag is actually a part of the Union Jack. Now, the name England originates from the Old English term Englaland, which literally means land of the Angles. The Angles were some blokes of the Germanic tribes who settled in Great Britain during the early Middle Ages, migrating from the Anglian region, which is now what we call Germany. The main language of England is, of course, English.
These out there, if it was about 90 degrees out there, go down like the Agberg, whatever it is, isn't it?
Wise words.
The currency is the Great British Pound, or GBP. Now, there's also some famous faces that would certainly be good to know or identify if you're in England. So first off, we have the royal family, the monarchy. Basically, just some powerful old rich folk. The English Kardashians, if you will. So to keep it brief, there was Queen Victoria, Queen Elizabeth, Rip Lizzie, her husband Philip, their children, King Charles, Princess Anne, Prince Edward, and never mind. Then these lot also have kids. But you only really need to know about Prince William, the heir to the throne.
Give him that crown.
And his brother, Prince Harry, or the ginger one. William is married to Kate Middleton, and Harry is married to Meghan Markle, or that woman from Suits. Then William has 3 kids, George, Charlotte, and Louis, and Harry has 2 kids named Archie and Lilibet. But after the current king, Charles, who's married to Camilla, his oldest son, William, is next in line. Then after him, his oldest son, George. Now, unless you're a 50-year-old woman, it's not uber important that you keep up with the monarchy. Just check in whenever there's a funeral or a wedding, and you'll pretty much be good. Then there's plenty more famous English figures that crop up a lot that you probably should know. Winston Churchill, Henry VIII, Charles Darwin, Guy Fawkes, Oliver Cromwell, William Shakespeare, Queen Elizabeth I, Isaac Newton, Florence Nightingale, Princess Diana, Paul, John, George and Ringo, David Attenborough, David Beckham, Mr. Blobby, Ed Sheeran, Wayne Rooney, Danny Dyer, Anton Deck, Alison Hammond and Rylan. And that list was in reverse order of importance. Now, in terms of politics, I'll keep this very brief because it's very boring. But there's a handful of political parties in English politics, but the main 2 you only really need to focus on is Labour, which is more left-leaning and is red, and Conservatives, which is more right-leaning and is blue. Kind of like the light and dark side, except they're both bad. As of when I record this, the Labour Party is in power, with the country being ruled by the head of the Labour Party and Prime Minister Keir Starmer. You have no chance of me recapping the last few Prime Ministers, because we've had about 400 in the last...
this lady. Wasn't this the lady? How long was she in power? I don't remember her name. She did one change, everyone hated it, and then she quit, right? Wow. Right. She got outlasted by a cabbage.
400 in the last 5 years.
I went to Peppa Pig World.
So here's a timeline if you care. Honestly, the Prime Minister's probably changed by the end of this sentence. There's 650 constituencies across the UK. Then at least every 5 years, there is a large general election to decide the next party to rule the country, where the nation votes in an MP or a Member of Parliament to represent their constituency and gain a seat in the Houses of Parliament in London. And the party with the most seats is the winner. It's pretty much just a big room that's split down the middle with a bunch of adults arguing, and a man
so fucking cramped, this room.
Says, honestly, just Google it and give it a read if you want to know more, because I want this channel to stay as far away from politics as possible.
Rule, Big Chungus rules the waves.
So now that you've got the basics locked down, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the English details, the local knowledge, and what is more local than... Now, whilst England is, of course, a singular country, part of the United Kingdom, of course, once you look into the various towns and cities that make up England, you will notice how vastly different the numerous areas and people of this small island are. So let's start simple, shall we, with the main, biggest cities of England and their rough feeling, and then we'll cover the accents later on. London, the biggest city and capital city of
Hey, what is this credit card scam I'm seeing in chat?
England, located here in the south of the country. With a population of over 8 million people, it's made up of north, east, south and west. There's a piss ton of landmarks: Trafalgar Square, Nelson's Column, Westminster Bridge, Big Ben, the Houses of Parliament, the London Eye, the Shard, Tower Bridge, St Paul's Cathedral, Buckingham Palace, where the King lives, 10 Downing Street, where the Prime Minister lives, these candy shops, where the money launderers live, and London, where the homeless people live. London isn't really like any other English city. It's certainly its own vibe. It's very busy, very hectic, very grimy, very pigeons, and very London. It does feel like a good fit to be the capital, a very English city overall. In fact, it's so English that if you go into the British Museum, it's full of lots of English things. But there's a million pubs literally everywhere and some great food spots. A very fun city to explore, and you'll always find something new in different areas of a very multicultural city. But if you live out of London, I only recommend doing London in small bursts. It can be a little bit overwhelming. There's a tube network that looks like a Windows XP screensaver, but you'll get the hang of it after a bit. Never ever stand on the left of an escalator, and by no means make any eye contact
So different countries have different sides on the escalator you're supposed to stand still on.
anybody on the tube or in the streets. You know what? Just don't look at anyone. And if you want to live in London, don't even think about it unless you're a millionaire or a money launderer. Birmingham, the rad zone of the UK. Now, I indeed have been to Birmingham a good number of times, as it's only about 30 minutes away from me on the train, and boy, is it something. Being located here in the West Midlands with a population of over 1.1 million Brummies, the second you step off the train, your nose is invaded with the smell of marijuana. In Birmingham, you will go from being in some pretty nice areas to some of the worst looking places you have ever seen in your life.
Birmingham is a shithole!
But I guess that is most cities. Jokes aside, once you're actually there, explore Birmingham. There's a shed load of things to do, with some insanely good food places and some unique little bars. There's also the Bullring Shopping Centre, which is worth a look. Just keep your wits about you and you'll be fine. If you can survive the radiation, that is. But there's a Lego store, so that's all that really matters.
Radiation?
Manchester, with a whopping population of 2.2 million people, located here, it is, well, I don't know really. They have their own rip-off Big Ben, football, Oasis. But there's a Lego store, so that's all that really matters. Liverpool, located on the west coast with a population of just under 500,000. It really has a life of its own culture if you will. And it has some of the craziest accents you will maybe ever hear.
I'm Sam, me and Paul, I'm fucking buzzing. 3-1 win against Arsenal, only team to win the first 3 games.
Well, that's what's gonna happen. 3-1 today.
Right.
But more on that later. Now, I've never personally been to Liverpool. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it supposedly has a wild nightlife full of stag do's and hen parties, or bachelor parties for you American folk, and it's full of some lovely people, if you can understand a word that they're saying. The Beatles are also from here, with many of the locations in their songs being found on the Scouse streets. But honestly, we should probably just shave this one off the edge of the UK and let it drift into the Atlantic.
What?
Well, there's a Lego store, so that's all that really matters. And of course, there's plenty of other different cities and little towns, but I'm not going to sit here and list all of them. The country's split into different counties that sound like medieval tribes, like Yorkshire, Wiltshire, Derbyshire, Lincolnshire, Norfolk, Suffolk, and so on. But each little English town and city has its own experience. And if you ever visit the UK, make sure to dedicate some time to get away from the big cities and explore the cottage-filled villages and historic towns and cities of the rolling hills of the countryside. And for any tourists that are planning to visit England, take it from me. Let me give you a quick go-to guide on the places to visit. Make sure to go to the scenic cities of Slough, Luton, Blackpool, and Skegness especially. Pure beauty. But one thing I can say for certain, every single town and city in England, no matter where you are, is linked by one thing. A powerful force that binds or divides England.
Rain. Oh.
Football.
Okay.
Now, whether you watch every single match on telly or couldn't care less, football in England is inescapable. It's like a religion.
Do I look stupid like this with my face painted?
I think half of England truly exists just for football alone.
Come on, England!
Well, made it.
People will miss their children's birth for a football match. Everyone has their team that they support, with basically every area in the country having its own football club of varying sizes and success. And it would frankly be immoral of me to not give you a rundown on the basics. So starting in the mid-19th century, in England of all places, you kick a ball with your foot. hence the name football. Don't call it soccer unless you want your head kicked in. Games are played in teams of 11 made up of various famous
Oh, this guy who made this is an IRL friend of Zoil.
athletes that get paid millions per kick
Salah.
as they try and score goals to score a point for their team. But I assume you know that part. Well, England is home to the highest and most famous league in football, the Premier League, the highest division in English football. Now, this league is made up of some teams that you've most likely heard at least one of. Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham, Liverpool, and so on. The Premier League is made up of 20 teams that each play 38 games each a season, either at home or away. A win is worth 3 points and a draw is worth 1. Then the team that finishes with the most points wins the league. The bottom 3 teams of the Premier League then go on to get relegated to the Championship, then League 1, then League 2, and so on. And it works in reverse, where the top 3 teams of these leagues go on to get promoted to the next one up. Everywhere you go in England, you will see people sporting their team's kits,
Come
pubs
on,
overflowing
lads.
with middle-aged men with beer bellies shouting at a telly. And there is full-blown wars breaking out. English football teams have local rivalries, there's football hooligans, it's some Game of Thrones type shit. But don't you worry, guys. If you have no clue about football, I have some basic tips to help you blend in. What you want to do is walk into a pub, scout out the inhabitants, pick a side, then just stand there, preferably with a drink in your hand, and shout things like, "Ref!" or "Get it up!" or "You could park a bus in there!" or "Wanker!" And you'll fit in no time. The only time
Did you
that
see that
everyone in
ludicrous
England is
display
united
last
when
night?
it comes to football is when there's some sort of international tournament like the Euros or the World Cup, which is great fun. Even if you don't watch football, just getting together with all your friends and supporting your country in the sunny setting of a pub garden, just to watch them get to the final and bottle it 2 years in a row. Now, how can we talk about the intricacies of English regions and cities without mentioning accents and slang? Now, somehow, for a tiny island, you can go between 2 cities in the UK that are 2 hours apart, and the residents of said city will sound vastly different. Now, I highly recommend watching this 10-year-old video from Anglophenia on UK accents that explains everything very well. Or you could stay here and watch me explain it as if I was speaking to a 5-year-old. But first, a message from our sponsor. Mate,
Right.
does it get much better than this? Beer in hand, at the pub, footy match
I don't know,
starts in
Barcelona's
10
playing, but
minutes.
sure.
This is the absolute life. Oh, you've got to be bloody kidding me. Every single time I sit down, this thing chirps up. I'm going to give this bloke a mouthful. Hi, Dave. How are you? Did you get the new ad alert through? No, I'm not blooming all right. You can't just set me these tests when I'm at the pub. Did you know that the footy starts in 10 minutes? I cannot miss this match. Well, Dave, the fate of the universe lies in your hands. Did you know that? You have to promote War Thunder, the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made, and it's now available for free on PC,
Wow.
consoles, and mobile devices. Oh, fine. But listen, is there something I can do to speed this up? I have to get back for this match. I'm not joking. Well, there is the multiverse setting, but it is risky. The blooming one is to Final Jets and main.
Okay, chat, what are you waiting for? Go play War Thunder right now. w2m.game/Joe Seppi.
Battle tanks of today, which is pretty huge of you. Dave here. Thunder. War Thunder. Did you know that research detailed vehicle for our time? Today we are blowing up this military tank, but
Oh my
first
God,
you
how
can join
long
a
is
worldwide
this?
community of over 95 million players in epic PvP battles today, and delve into the breathtaking experience that is War Thunder, with an unmatched wealth of high quality content
Thunder?
to discover. There's simply no better game suited for fans of military history. So this monitor here is revolutionary. Let me show you some more. Here, we'll turn it Outdoor Dave YouTube channel. You know when I'm in these freezing cold temperatures with nobody around?
Yeah, that's
You know what
pretty
really
cheeky.
gets me through it? The mobile version of War Thunder. War Thunder has an all-new mobile version available on iOS and Android, allowing you to take the battlefield wherever you go. The mobile version features intuitive controls.
Do they pay
impressive
by the
graphics,
minutes
and the
when they do
familiar,
these deals?
Massive multiplayer warfare in dynamic ground and sea
Meow.
battles with our support. Play War Thunder now for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or mobile devices by using my links in the pinned comment or video description. New and returning players on PC or console that haven't played in the last 6 months. The
Yep.
exclusive vehicle decorator, Eagle of Valor, 100,000 silver
Do you
lions,
accept
and
lemon
7
refugees?
days for premium account. It's available now for a limited time only, so be
As
quick.
long as you behave. Why are you a refugee, though?
Now, if you don't mind me, I'm going to watch the football. Back to the accents.
Scouse.
Oh boy, the Scouse accent. Now, as mentioned earlier, whenever you hear the word Scouse or Scouser, it refers to anybody or anything from the city of Liverpool. That's all it means. Now, this accent is like no other
You
in the
joked
UK
around too
or
much,
the
huh?
world. It's certainly its own creation.
Such a threat, but they never looked it. No, they never. I thought Pepe was probably one of them more. They stood out more than other players for Arsenal.
It sounds like if you try to talk whilst clearing your throat.
Yo, update on the burger, lad.
Hang on. Big. Car detected. Follow. Hey. Hi. Very cute.
I've chopped
Take
it
delivery.
off. This is the meanest smash bag ever.
Words like electric become lecky, chicken becomes chicken,
It's
beverage
mingin.
becomes bevy, present becomes prezi, food becomes scran. Arguably, the
Scran.
most recognisable accent in the UK. The second you hear it, your ears prick up and your Scouser alarm goes off, which is your sign to run the other way. And this is one of those accents where if it's strong enough, you will not understand it.
I hope Bryce absolutely schools him, but that's all I'm going to say on the matter.
What's that?
Notable Scousers with thick accents are people like Paddy Pimblett.
Your head's gone, lad. You need to grow up. You're about 14 in the edge, you little nit.
Anybody ever get what he said?
Stephen Gerrard.
3-0 down at half time, we thought we were out, but, credit to the boys.
Stephen Graham.
And then one of my really good friends, Graham, he was my boxing trainer.
John Bishop.
But you had to go in the morning and sing.
Or, of course, the softer accents of the Beatles.
We expected them to be very different, but they weren't at all.
And there's deeper Scouse lore and dialect. Anybody that isn't from Liverpool or isn't a proper Scouser is called a wool, and whatever you do, if you ever visit Liverpool, do not wear white socks.
Wait, really? Wait.
The Geordie accent. Yet another one that is instantly recognisable.
Absolutely love go-karting. I'm like super Mario, but with a huge...
Now this accent comes from Newcastle. It's sort of if you took a northern accent and chopped it up. There's some pretty defining characteristics of the Geordie accent. The O vowel becomes an oo sound, so cookbook becomes kookbook.
My booking fee were booked through. That was really quite easy.
And they like to skip part of their words out, as many northern English accents do.
It's not about the details. I'm not giving you details.
And words that end in ER get swapped out for the letter A. So proper becomes proper.
Got proper mobbed.
Slipper becomes slipper, and explained by comedian Jimmy Carr, words like pooper scooper become poopa scooper, and Kawasaki becomes Kawasaki.
Roller coaster, pooper scooper, oompa loompa, Kawasaki, 4 unrelated words, the Geordie accent. Roller coaster, pooper scooper, oompa loompa, Kawasaki.
They call everyone pet, replace the word me with us, you don't get drunk, you get mortal, say town as tune, and overall, very melodic, friendly sounding accent, but very recognisable.
I'd grill more birds than George Foreman.
Notable Geordies are people like Alan Shearer.
My mum still drops me dad off at the pub.
Will Annie.
Why has he got horns on?
Jay from Little Mix.
And I got pet with a colouring in book, which is even worse. Now nobody's going to want us ever.
Caught with a what again?
And Anton Deck.
Brummy.
Now, one of my personal favourites, the Birmingham accent, is quite a funny one.
Thought I'll make a video now because you like it when I'm angry, don't you? Why I'm angry? Don't ask me why. I just woke up in a
from Birmingham.
steaming mood, yeah? Birmingham!
Now, the key to mastering this one is all in the vowels. So the U sound becomes a strong open sound. And an I sound becomes an oi. Oh yeah, alright. Can you have a pie, chips and peas, please?
And every time the traffic moved around the lorries, my wings were shaking violently as if we was having a mini earthquake.
It's all at the front of the mouth, with a very open O-shaped mouth. I'm a brummy. Again, another friendly, welcoming, warm accent that gets stronger the closer you get to the Black Country region.
You should go to the Black Country, that's where it's real fun. There's sort of chalk like
I
got no neck and no future.
Notable brummy figures are people like Ozzy Osbourne.
I'm a junkie anyways.
Alison Hammond.
Where's the door gone?
Or, of course, the accents in Peaky Blinders.
You were also at war with the Lees, Mr. Kimber, am I right?
Ah, Cockney, the accent that you'll hear the most from people that don't live in England.
That's
it's
that
the stereotypical
chef guy,
accent
right?
that anyone will do to represent an English person. The classic "Hey-up, Gavner."
I never look when I pour,
Hey.
because I am the absolute governor. Abosh.
Abosh.
It's that gritty London blokey accent. Get me a fucking pint, then it's down to the chippy.
We've got special fried rice, chicken chow mein, sweet and sour chicken balls, sweet and sour prawn balls, sweet and sour chicken Hong Kong style, sweet and sour pork Hong Kong style. And don't forget Charlotte mini spring rolls. Bah!
It's rough, it's rugged, it's bloody English. Just swap out all the U's for A's and you've basically got it, you fucking lucky bastard. The name Cockney, by the way, not only refers to this sort of accent and the people that have it, but it's actually supposed to refer to anybody that was born in the area that can hear the bow bells of the St. Mary Lee Bow Church in London. Then you're a proper Cockney geezer.
Interesting.
Relax, drink a Stella. You know, it make you feel better.
There's also Cockney rhyming slang, where simply explained, you kind of just say words that rhyme And Cockneys know what you mean. Apples and pears for stairs. Dog and bone for phone.
You wear your armoured rocks.
Socks.
Ones and twos.
Shoes. Didgeridoo's I normally call them. Didgeries.
Us English folk are not
What?
beat in the medieval
Why?
language allegations. But yeah, if you ever encounter a Cockney bloke rhyming his words, he's either speaking in rhyming slang or he's been in the pub for far too long. Famous Cockneys are people like Danny Dyer.
I think he's getting a bit method round me. Let's have a method up. We'll go method against method. I'm up for all that, mate.
And Michael Caine.
You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Alfred.
You have the R.
I always think of that. What's the name of that chef guy? The naked chef. Is it Jamie Oliver?
Accent or received pronunciation. This is your posh, uppity Tory accent that you'd hear from the BBC back in the day.
The end of meat rationing this weekend was the final step in dismantling the whole wartime system of food distribution.
Oh, this is absolutely exquisite.
That's sex.
It's very proper. The Queen's English, if you will.
This is a duty I'm especially happy to discharge.
You'll hear it from the royal family or anybody that plays polo. It's very fancy and maybe the only accent that when you hear
Gordon
it,
Ramsay got skin cancer? No, I didn't hear that. Is it bad?
you feel poor. The Manchester accent. Now to me, the Mancunian accent is the epitome of a Northern English city accent. It's nothing crazy, but it has its quirks. The main thing with the Manchester accent, as with a lot of Northern English accents, is any Y sound at the end of any word becomes an E sound. So quality becomes quality, angry becomes angry, pretty becomes pretty, funny becomes funny.
Bit more like scary.
And you'll rarely hear the letter G at the end of a word with the Manchester accent. Meeting, walking, talking.
I'm talking.
They also drop the letter H at the start of words a lot.
H.
Home becomes home. I'm going home.
Go home and so it's not too hard.
I'm feeling really happy.
Makes me happy.
It's a classic Northern accent. Can't go wrong. Famous Mancunians are people like Liam and Noel Gallagher.
I stubbed my toe on a coffee table.
Angry Ginge.
Got her in a headlock, broke her neck, manager's come running over, I've got the manager by the scruff of the neck, I've gone BANG!
The Bristolian accent is like if a pirate and a farmer had a love child. And it had a speech impediment.
Oh, I love that scene.
There's a lot of R's worked in there. It's all spoken out the side of your mouth, and all the T's in the middle of your words just vanish. Water, better. It sounds very grumpy and grumbly.
They got names for people like you around here.
Think about Hagrid from Harry Potter. You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
The Yorkshire accent. If a sheep had an accent, I imagine they would sound like a Yorkshireman. This is the true sound of the British countryside. Now, with Yorkshire being a county made up of cities like York, Leeds, Bradford, Sheffield, Doncaster, and so on, it may just be the easiest accent on this list to do. You just
What accent does the guy who's talking here, the guy who made the video, what does he have?
extend every word to start to sound like a Yorkshireman.
Come out at a gate at the top, turn right, and it's like a fairly main road.
I like eating pies and bangers and mash. All your O sounds become an O. I'm alone, phone, no.
We make proper brews. Brews that bring a tear to your eye and warmth to your soul. Do it for Yorkshire!
It's a very fun accent to do. It's the sort of accent that makes you sound like you're away with the fairies or drifting through the clouds. Then in the same breath, they cut off some of their words, like I'm going down to pub. But it's a quintessential English accent nonetheless. Think of Sean Bean, Ned Stark from Game of Thrones.
The next time we see each
What
other,
a minute.
we'll talk about your mother.
Winter is coming. And if you've been listening to this video and been trying to work out whereabouts in England my accent is from, it's always pretty tricky to pinpoint your own accent. I've always thought I had a pretty plain English accent, but I guess it'd most likely sort of be a Midlands accent, since I'm from Derby, near Nottingham.
Derby.
We just call each other Duck. You're right, Duck. Hey up, Duck. And if someone's in a bad mood, they're being mardy. That's a very Midlands word that we use all the time. But maybe it just comes out more in videos. There are also some very widely known slang words across England used by different dialects that you will certainly need to know if you want to get by. So I'll quickly reel some of these off. Bear means to have a lot of something. Peak can be good or bad. Long is tedious or bad. That's long. Quid, another name for English pounds. Chuffed means you're happy or content. Faff, to waste time, to faff about, or boring tasks. Skint means you have no money. Loo, a toilet. Kip, a nap. Chinwag, to have a chat. Me and Dave had a chinwag at the pub. Doing my head in, a personal favourite of mine that I use a lot. Just means if someone's annoying you. In terms of insults, you have dafty, pillock, knob, bellend, muppet, tosser, bugger, plonker, wally, turnip, donut, drip, and divvy. any of these will work, they're all interchangeable. So there you go. Now you're fully clued up on identifying
Good
the
words.
English accents and slang words, or at least the main ones. And of course, we're just covering English regional accents. So if you're wondering about the Scottish ones, don't bother. You're going to have no chance of understanding those anyway.
Did I do it apart for that, did I? You did. Now you're going to say, see when you finally get the balls to admit it, you're going to say one or two lasses.
Well, there is one item that English people cannot agree on. An item that when it's shown, every region has a different name for it.
Burger?
This. Bread would be a safe bet, but where I'm from, we call this a cob. But you have various names all around England, like bap, roll, barb, oggy, batch. I promise this is a real thing. And this leads us perfectly onto our next lesson. Now, I will admit,
oh boy, here we go.
Us English folk get slandered for our food on the internet, that we eat gruel or slop, that our meals are medieval. Well, I'm here to set the record straight. Listen here, okay? Us English have food culture. I mean, our national dish is a chicken tikka masala. But it did originate here, okay? I mean, we have classic dishes like beans on toast, jelly deals, bubble and squeak, stargazy pie. Listen, okay, we have a Sunday roast and fish and chips. Do we need any more?
Just a bit of advice for you, lads. Before you go to Boozer, you must eat this. This is real pub fighting food, this. Cheese, beans, sausage on toast. Banging.
Jokes aside, we may not have many great originally English dishes, but we certainly do have some food establishments in England that are more than worth a mention. I actually did a video on the second channel where we tried and ranked pretty much every English fast food chain, so I'll link that below if you want to give it a watch. In fact, if you want more content between main channel videos, the second channel is the place to be. Give it a sub too whilst you're over there, we're nearly at 30k. But there are three main big fast food chains I think are pretty pivotal to try if you're ever over here. And are eaten pretty regularly. Firstly, Greggs, a name that lights up the eyes of any English person across the land. So in short, Greggs is a fast food place that specialises in pastry filled primarily with meat. Everyone in England knows the iconic taste of a Greggs.
Are you guys doing this for the meme, or has Zoil spoken warmly about this?
Sausage roll.
He loves it. I do like sausage roll as well.
I'm gonna start with the sausage roll. Okay, here we go.
Or my personal favourite, the steak bake. Shiny, golden, buttery pastry filled with a hearty beef and gravy. You can't beat it.
Gravy.
And it's cheap. Greggs is that one place that when you see it scattered across the English high street, you can guarantee you're going to have a warm hug in pastry form.
I've been to
An
England.
essential British establishment, and you can never go wrong.
Even with the best one in the world.
Even just writing this script has got my mouth watering for a Greggs. Nando's, responsible for the creation of the term cheeky Nando's if you're a knob. Now, whilst not very British on the surface, with it being Portuguese peri-peri chicken, it solidified itself in English culture.
I love Nando's more than your mom does.
Ed Sheeran, by the way.
I love Nando's. My tongue is on fire.
Being more of a sit-down restaurant, Nando's is that
Saka.
place that everyone just defaults to go out for food when you have no prior planning for somewhere more fancy. But boy, does it hit the spot. I find myself itching for a Nando's if it's been a few weeks. The chicken is nothing mind-blowing, but boy, is it good. If you order the right thing, that is.
Oh, that's horrible. No, I can't do that anymore.
You pick what you want from the menu, then choose your spice of choice from this meter, then dig in. And for anyone that cares, my go-to Nando's order is a medium half chicken with garlic bread and peri salted chips, as peri salt is one of man's greatest creations, and don't get me started on the peri-nays. Nando's is a great place to meet up with friends and catch up over some good chicken, and that bottomless soft serve ice cream must have crack in it. I'm convinced.
Are their
Give it
machines actually working?
a go if you're ever here. You might even get a Nando's black card. Now, arguably the most English place on this list, Wetherspoons is an English staple. I mean, these things are arguably more important than the royal family.
Wow.
When you say Wetherspoons, or spoons in England, every head will turn. In short, Wetherspoons is just a chain of pubs, usually in gigantic historical buildings, old banks, and so on. Because what's more English than taking a beautiful historic building with heaps of history and turning it into a place to drink? But you walk in, sit down, open the Wetherspoons app, and order the cheapest food and booze you will ever lay your eyes on in England. every English night out usually starts in spoons. You can get wasted on a tenner and stock up on cocktail pitchers. But
Sweet.
even if you're not a drinker, just having endless food brought to your table with a few taps, as well as refillable tea, coffee, and hot chocolate. Sure, it is by no means Gordon Ramsay's kitchen, but it is cheap and cheerful. Probably microwave pub food with great chips. It is the perfect social setting to drink, have a meal with family or friends. They're always rammed, they're always cheap, and most importantly, they're always there. No matter where you are in England, I can assure you that you will find a Spoons. Think of McDonald's, but a pub. Just whatever you do, never go to the toilets in Spoons. Due to the sheer size of the buildings, you'll be missing for 3 weeks and end up on a missing persons Interpol list. But if you don't fancy a full sit-down meal, something quicker, cheaper, on the go.
Google Witherspoon's carpet. I think you misspelled it. These are awful. Is this the kind of design to hide so much dirt and filth and grease, isn't it? God, just looking at this stuff when you're wasted seems like it will cause you to throw up. God knows how many secrets lies in this carpet. The type of carpet that sticks to your shoes. Yeah, I can imagine.
There's 2 words that every English person knows. Meal deal. Now let me explain. So across England, we have various supermarkets. Asda, Morrison's, Co-op, Tesco,
we have that
Sainsbury's,
as well.
to name a few.
Is
And
that
each of
how you actually pronounce it? I always just say Coop. That's how you say it in Sweden, but...
these supermarkets have one very English feature. The meal
Is it actually
deal.
co-op?
In short, you can get a
Cooperates?
sandwich, a snack, and a drink for a reduced value of money. It's an integral piece to the English day-to-day routine, with some people literally having a meal deal every day before work or
Cooperative.
during lunchtime. And there's 4 things in life you should never discuss with people: politics, money, religion, and their chosen meal deal. Now, whilst there might be doubt that our dishes are bad, I will stand on business here and say there is zero doubt that our chocolate is the best. Okay, I'll give Switzerland and Belgium a pass, but you Americans, I don't want to hear a peep out of you. Hershey's chocolate tastes like literal bumhole. You guys need to get your chops around some Cadbury's, some Galaxy. In fact, if you want a very detailed look at all the chocolate England has to offer...
That was NymN Rewind you were in the video. What are you talking about? Where?
religion and their
You're just making a
chosen meal
meme?
deal. Now, whilst there might be doubt that our dishes are bad, I will stand on business here and say there is
The stock video? You're just making shit up.
zero doubt that our chocolate is the best out here. Hershey's chocolate tastes like literal bumhole. You guys need to get your chops around some Cadbury's, some Galaxy. In fact, if you want a very detailed look at all the chocolate England has to offer, there is now a video out on the second channel where I eat and rank.
We had this when we did the chocolate ranking. I think it's this thing right here. Yeah, you had it in the picture as well. Hang on.
All the chocolate England has to offer. There is now a video out on the second.
This Aero peppermint cream, that was crazy. Bubble chocolates with peppermint flavor. We also had the regular one. It was also good. The peppermint, it was kind of a lot to eat the whole bar of it. But like a bite or two, wow. I've never had peppermint chocolate before. There's also the standard one. That's good. It's weird how taking chocolate and removing some of it makes it better. Well, we didn't have that. We only tried. It was when we did the. It was when the Americans were here. We did it. We some guy from the UK sent us a bunch of UK candy. Not some guy, Matt Foxall, and we tried it all.
Channel where I eat and rank every single English chocolate bar on the market to find the best one. And after eating 42 chocolate
no, but yeah, I guess
bars, boy, was it eventful. Now, there is an actual science behind why US chocolate tastes so different to the rest of the world. Because the US is so big, the chocolate factories aren't close to the dairy farms. So to make the milk last longer, so it can be transported across the giant country, the milk is run through a process called lipolysis, which uses enzymes to break down the fats, but a byproduct of this process is a little thing.
The only chocolate I've ever had that was so bad that I actually couldn't finish it. Because it's like, at the end of the day, it's all chocolate, you know? Even bad chocolate is still good. But the one time, it was the Mr. Beast chocolate.
Butyric acid, which, by the way, is also found in, vomit. So it makes US chocolate taste sour and bitter. In fact, some American companies even add butyric acid to make the chocolate taste more familiar. Not to mention that American chocolate is 20% sugar and not 10% like in most of Europe, and the cocoa content can be a minimum of 10% in America instead of 30% over here in the EU.
Wow.
But in short, try an English chocolate bar, and then after that, try some Swiss
Exclamation mark movie is always a reliable command if you have questions about the trailer night.
Belgian chocolate, and your mind will be blown.
True.
Now, a lot of people say that white people have no culture, or that England is plain, and I'm here to prove that wrong. I mean, just look at this. So if you want to truly fit into English culture, it would only be sensible.
Also horrible? It just doesn't taste, it's like he's saying, it just doesn't taste good. I actually don't know how to put it. It doesn't taste chocolatey enough. It didn't feel particularly sweet. It had a very strange, like, aftertaste. It just tasted like how I imagine, like, if they ever serve you like chocolate in prison, that's how I would imagine that would taste. It's like some sort of chocolate imitation that sort of looks and feels like chocolate, but ultimately doesn't taste like it. Do you like Reese's? Is that the one with the peanuts? I tried it for a bit, but the peanut flavor was too overpowering, I thought.
You some homework, a few things that you can go and watch or do to be in the loop of British references. Soak in the English.
The only American chocolate that I remember and I sort of liked was called Butterfinger. That's American, right? That was pretty decent.
The culture, but I'll keep it brief. As far as movies go, let me just blast off the go-to list. You've got the Cornetto trilogy, both the Mr. Bean movies, both the Twins movies, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, This Is England, and Four Lions. This should do you to start with. Then in terms
Four
of
Lions
TV,
is good.
you have your sitcoms, The In-Betweeners, Friday Night Dinner, Bad Education, Little Britain, Come Fly With Me, Gavin and Stacey, Royal Family, then your big ones, Doctor Who, Top Gear, Clarkson's Farm, Peaky Blinders, early Black Mirror seasons, and Taskmaster. And if you're a middle-aged woman, you have Coronation Street, EastEnders, Hollyoaks, Emmerdale, and Downton Abbey. You also have your reality shows that aren't necessarily essential, but they are very popular. Love Island, Big Brother, Traitors, Bake Off, Come Dine With Me, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, 4 in a Bed, Gogglebox. You have your comedy panel shows like Would I Lie to You, 8 out of 10 Cats, 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown, Have I Got News for You, Mock the Week. And for any of you English folk watching, it would be criminal of me not to have some nostalgia bait with Tracy Beaker, The Dumping Ground, Trap, Jungle Run, My Parents Are Aliens, Max and Ruby, Horrid Henry, Gruesome Tales for Gruesome Kids, Chuckle Vision, Horrible Histories, Anything Dick and Dom, Basil Brush, Bear Behaving Badly, Bamzuki, Sarah Jane Adventures, Shaun the Sheep, and Prank Patrol. And if you're a sophisticated gent, you have your TV quiz shows like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, The Weakest Link, Pointless, Richard Osman's House of Games, Family Fortunes, Tenable, The 1% Club, Mastermind, Bullseye, Only Connect, University Challenge, and arguably the best TV show on English television, The Chase. Now, as far as music goes, again, let's keep it simple and just reel off some English music icons that you can go and listen to the discographies of. You have Queen, Elton John, The Beatles, Pink Floyd, Black Sabbath, Oasis, David Bowie, George Michael, Rod Stewart, The Who, Amy Winehouse, The Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, The Sex Pistols, Kate Bush, Adele, Ed Sheeran. And of course, you have to mention some of the biggest and iconic English rap artists. People like Skepta, Dave, Central C, JME, Giggs, Dizzy Rascal, AJ Tracy, Chip, Wiley, Stormzy, Lethal Bizzle, Tiny Temper, and so on. Trains. Now, one of the biggest benefits of living in the UK is how easy and fast it is to get around. And England is known for its rail system. You can hop on a train and be in another city within an hour to meet friends or explore new places all over the country. The train system is great. When it works. Most of the time, it's tickets that cost an arm and a leg, rammed platforms that lead to rammed carriages where you have to stand cramped for your entire journey. And that's if your train isn't delayed or cancelled altogether. But if you get lucky, you can sit down in your seat, look out the window at the rolling countryside, and relax. Until someone is on the phone loudly, blasting music out loud, or on a stag do. Healthcare. The English institution that is the NHS. Doctors and nurses selflessly giving their time up to provide us with round-the-clock, world-class free healthcare. What heroes they are. Just to be underpaid and understaffed by the government. Just to clarify, it's not technically free as you pay for it through tax. We just don't have to pay for medical bills or ambulances on the spot, so it saves you there. The idea of the NHS is great. Free healthcare for all, and you rock up and everything is solved. And sometimes it does work like that. I remember when I was a kid, the NHS was fantastic. Now, thankfully, I don't have to use the NHS too often, but a couple of years ago, I had pretty gnarly heart pains and chest tightness. It was bad enough that I had to go to the urgent A&E walk-in centre, and it was indeed so urgent that it took, no exaggeration here, 12 hours to be seen by a doctor. I actually got woken up by the doctor calling my name. And I just want to clarify, this is not by any means the doctor's fault. The NHS is at just such high demand with such little amount of staff that sometimes wait times can be hours. Thankfully, in the end, it was all good. But after that long, I actually wish I had had a heart attack just so the wait time felt a little bit more meaningful. But you do get to play Sonic in the hospital on the children's ward as a kid. So you win some, you lose some, really. The British weather. Now, if I was to ask you guys on your perception of the English weather, my guess would be the majority of you would say it rains all the time. And you wouldn't be too wrong. It does rain a lot throughout the year, but there's something I need to clear up here. English summers. Now, when us English folk post online that it's 28 degrees or 31 degrees and we're dying and we're melting from the heat, yes, I know that Florida and Arizona and many other places on Earth get up to 40 degrees in the summer, but trust me, there is nothing like an English summer. As soon as the weather goes above 25 degrees, it's thick humidity, sticky and sweaty, blaring heat. And you gotta think, right, a lot of US homes have aircon installed, houses made of materials to suit the heat. Here in England, because it's so cold for most of the year and our weather is so unreliable, our houses are made of brick with thick double glazed windows and layers of insulation in the attic with zero aircon, designed to keep heat in our houses. So when the sun is blaring down on the house, it just cooks like a greenhouse, with temps in the house far surpassing the actual forecast. I'm telling you guys, English summers are like no other. I mean, here, take it from foreigners that live in England.
By far, the biggest culture shock I've had as an Aussie living in London is this heat. Like, what is this? Why am I so sticky and why is it so humid? Why have I just been sweating for 18 hours of the day?
Never in a million years did I think I would come on this app and defend British people. And then the sun's beaming, we're dying over there. It's bad. Unless you experience a UK summer, I'm sweating in the airport.
British heat hits different.
Can somebody please explain what the fuck is special about the UK heat? I swear to God, I grew up in the Middle East, okay? I've lived in hot countries my whole life. I lived in 42 degrees Celsius, yet this is killing me more than when I was in Dubai.
England, it is hot. I used to criticize all the Brits. I used to complain, oh mate, it's just too hot. And in my head, I was like, it's just summertime. What are they talking about? But after living here for a good while, I think I finally understand.
Now let's address the elephant in the room. Or should I say, the teabag in the room. Because there is this singular holy grail of English culture. The cup of tea. You fill the kettle with your finest English tap water, smack it on, throw a tea bag in a novelty mug, then pour the boiling water in with a bit of milk and as much sugar as you like, let it sit, and voila, you have one fine cup of tea. And I don't want to see any of this made in a microwave bollocks either. That is not...
People do that?
A cup of tea. That's an abomination. There's a common saying here in England that there is no issue that a cup of tea can't solve. And honestly, it's true. Bad day at work, have a cuppa. Feeling a bit low, have a cuppa. Cold, have a cuppa. Ran out of tea bags, have a cuppa. Your family's perished in a horrible bus accident, have a cuppa. You have the urge to play League of Legends, seek professional help. There is no problem
Surfer killer
that a good cuppa can't fix. Now, all jokes aside, as much as I poke fun at the place, England has been my home for 25 years now. And whilst it's nowhere near perfect, and sure, the weather is a bit shit, I have a bunch of memories, experiences, and friends tied to this tiny island. I love to travel.
I actually got one. Oh, the hook is in my finger.
But whenever I land back in the UK, I instantly feel like I'm at home. England, like anywhere in the world, has its own quirks and feelings. Whether it's playing on a field in the summer as a kid in the blaring heat with the smell of barbecues emanating from various brick houses in the distance, the excitement of travelling to London and experiencing the big city life, or just going for a walk through the greenery of the countryside, overall, England isn't too bad. Unless you're in Birmingham. And thanks to Kaijin for sponsoring the video and making it all possible. Don't forget to check out War Thunder on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or mobile using my links below. New and 6 months inactive users also get a huge bonus pack across PC and console.
Battle's easy
and with
today.
all that said, goodbye.
Hey, shout out to Giuseppe. That was a pretty insane video. He must have put many hours into that. So here you go, chat. Go check out that video. Go check out the channel as well. Good stuff. Now I know so much about England.
There's a best of internet daily dotes. There's the new unusual memes. This thing looks insane.